Hey everyone, or anyone. So I'm just knitting at the moment and I'm knitting a sleeve. Someone asked me, so I'm a bit snuffly at the moment. Someone asked me how I work in the round and I was knitting the sleeve, so I thought I'll just film a little bit of this while I'm doing it. So I've got a longer cable as you can see there and a smaller circle for the sleeve. So what I do is I push, especially the front needle, I divide them in half, I pull my cable out one side, the opposite side of where my needles are meeting, and I pull the back one out because I need to knit onto that one. So you can see we've maintained our smaller circle and we're making these two needles meet. So then I'm just knitting across these stitches on the front needle as I normally would. I forgot about my marker, it fell off for the start of the round, sorry. So yeah, I'm just doing plain knit stitches here as you can see. So I'm just going to knit across this front row. This isn't the only method you can use when knitting in the round. You can do travelling loop, which is what I do when I have more stitches. And you can use short tips for knitting needles. So you can knit, I think they're much easier to knit smaller circles because you don't have these wooden sticks that need to be straight that are as long because they're short tips. So what you'll notice here, I think, is that it just looks like flat knitting, right? If you didn't see that back half of the sleeve, you would just think I'm knitting back and forth. It looks just like flat knitting, but you've got the two kind of little circles of orange cable sticking out either end. And I think when I started knitting, I definitely overcomplicated knitting in the round and the magic loop, and I couldn't quite get my head around it. But I think you've just got to think of it as getting the excess cable out of the way so that your knitting needles can meet, so you can form these stitches. So yeah, I just kind of pull the cable out where I can, which is more travelling loop style, but it also makes sense for magic loop. I'm just going to knit to the end and then I'll show you what I'm going to do, which is exactly the same thing as before. I'm just going to turn the piece around and work the other half of the circle. So I'm up to the last few stitches here and I'm going to turn the work around. I'm going to get that what is now the front needle, so that was the back needle. I'm going to pull that cable out, pull the back one out because we need to bring that to the front. Make sure the stitches we're about to work are pushed up onto the wooden needle, and then that back needle's free for me to pull around the front and do normal knit stitches again. So that's just how you work around a smaller circle with a longer cable. It's actually quite easy. Like I said, I think a lot of people overthink it, but the more practice you have, the more normal it will become. I found it quite confusing at first when I started, and now you don't even think about it. It's just normal knitting. I do knit most of my stuff in the round though. And again, you can see it just looks like a flat panel if you couldn't see the back. So I hope that visualization really helps uh, the understanding of how this works. I'm almost up to, yep, there it is, my start of round marker. So that's one whole round we've done.